Hey everybody, Kris White with the American Battlefield Trust, and we are making our way through Georgia. We've been to Tennessee, we've moved our way down Rocky Face Ridge, we've been to Resaca, Tunnel Hill, we've been over to Pine Mountain, we've been all over the place. So check out all of our videos that we have online right now on YouTube and over at battlefields.org. Be sure to go over and click our subscribe button on YouTube. Also, if you are interested, become a member of the American Battlefield Trust. If you like what we're producing out here, you can support our videos, you can support our education efforts, you can support our land efforts. So we have a little bit of everything for everyone. So be sure to tell your friends and your family about the American Battlefield Trust, as well as our social media channels. So as I alluded to, we are still following our Atlanta campaign. We just finished up over along the Pine Mountain line, over on the Lost Mountain line as well. We've shot a bunch of videos, but now we're ever creeping closer to the city of Atlanta, and that is going to be the ultimate goal of William T. Sherman and his Army group, moving down from the northwest out of Tennessee down along the Western and Atlantic Railroad. He and his men have overcome a lot of obstacles, and now we're facing two more obstacles before we can get to Atlanta. One is the Chattahoochee River, and the other one is very imposing, and that will be the Kennesaw Mountain chain here with Big Kennesaw, Little Kennesaw, and there's a lot of problems that we're going to start to see with William T. Sherman and his army at this point. For the bigger picture here, think about it's mid-June of 1864. What's happening in the Eastern Theater? Ulysses S. Grant is making it to the gates of Petersburg. We're just about to initiate siege operations in that 292-day siege up there at Petersburg. Now we're down here at the Atlanta campaign, and William T. Sherman and his men are inching ever closer to Atlanta. The Confederates, under Joseph Johnston, the Army of Tennessee, have moved their way down here to Kennesaw Mountain. They've established a very strong defensive line here at Kennesaw, something like 13 miles. But before I get into any of that, I want to bring on our guest from the National Park Service, Carlson. We've had some name problems today of pronunciation, so I want to make sure that I get that correct for you. So, Kyle, I want to bring you on. Why don't you tell us a little bit about where we're standing and how we get here in 1864?
Yeah, so we're here at the Kolb farmhouse behind me. So basically the armies get here on June 19th, 1864. After all that fighting, Pine Mountain, Gilgal Church, and everything. June 20th, I like chronological ideas, so we're going to go from that. June 20th, Johnston knows Sherman is working his flanks, like he always does in the entire Atlanta campaign, the true game of chess, in my opinion. So basically, he's going to have Hood, who is on the right-hand side of his lines, march him through Marietta and have him follow the Powder Springs Road, basically to the busy intersection to my left here. Once he does that, he gets here on June 22nd in about the evening. John Bell Hood's going to be John Bell Hood, basically. He's just going to go. That's one of the big criticisms here. He doesn't have any skirmishers that he launches. He doesn't know the ground very well. Terrain plays a huge role in any battle, but when you don't have those skirmishers to tell you ahead of time what's going on, it plays an even bigger role. So basically, he's going to have his people come up down to Powder Springs Road, his two divisions of Thomas Hinman and Carter Stevenson. Hinman is going to be on the north side of the line, the right-hand side for the Confederates. He is going to run into a marsh. Again, that terrain, he needs those skirmishers to tell him what's going on. Alpheus Williams and the 20th Corps under Joseph Hooker are going to be in the main defense here at this battle of Kolb Farm. Williams will write in his reports, basically, that artillery knocks Hinman off. They're just going to kind of get pushed off because of that marsh and that artillery. They don't do anything. You're going to have two regiments here on the right-hand side where most of the fighting actually takes place right along the Powder Springs Road here. That the 14th Kentucky and 123rd New York. They are going to go up against Carter Stevenson's division. The first two brigades are going to be under... Who do we got here? I don't remember.
You don't have to go brigade level, man.
Okay,
that's okay. Kyle Carlson.
So it's my debut. There we go. But basically, those two regiments and their skirmish lines, their picket lines, are going to effectively neutralize that first wave of brigades, the two brigades there. So after that, 14th New York, or 14th Kentucky, 123rd New York are going to fall back to the Confederate or Union lines. that second wave of brigades, those 2 brigades under the Confederates, are going to run into those Union lines and again get wiped out. Again, that terrain, no skirmishers. Hood just, again, is Hood. All this is going to happen in the evening as well. So probably what's good for Hood is that it ends up being dark. So Hooker can't do any counterattacks or anything like that. The aftermath of all this, though, for the Union side, is Hooker is probably going to end up drawing his last straw with Sherman. Hooker's going to say Schofield, who is on his further right, is not even near Hooker at all. Hooker's also going to send to Sherman, hey, I have the entire Confederate army here in my front. Sherman's looking out towards his lines. Confederate army has 1, 2, 3 corps. He sees 2 of them in front of him. He's like, no, you don't. So again, he kind of berates Hooker after all that, kind of overreacting over everything here. But after this is going to be kind of where Sherman decides now is the time to maybe do the plan that I was kind of fiddling with the whole time and attack the center and feign on both the left and right. If Kris has anything else.
I'm a little worried here. I mean, I think Kyle just spoke a little poorly of Joe Hooker. Let's see how Kris reacts.
That's my guy. No, Hooker, definitely, you have the 2 most aggressive commanders probably in either army right here. Joe Hooker, putting your Chancellorsville thoughts aside from him, when he was at division command and as well as corps command, the guy's very aggressive commander. 20th Corps, as we talked about on a lot of our other videos, are seeing a lot of the fighting here throughout the campaign, kind of like Patrick Cleburne's division in the Confederate Army of Tennessee. So what you're seeing out here again will be John Wayne Gary. You'll also see Alpheus Williams out here. Their divisions bearing the brunt of it for the 20th Corps. Dan Butterfield, you'll hear his name a lot as well. We'll also see, the bulk of Hood's corps. I agree with Kyle that, I mean, this is Hood being Hood. To me, he peaked in September 17th of 1862, but that's just me. John Bell Hood, West Point class of 53, he's got some competent division commanders under him, including Alexander Stewart, West Point grad, and then you also have Carter Stevenson, Fredericksburg area native, just like Chris Mikowski over here. So he's a West Pointer, 38, went to school with William J. Hardee. So we have competent men, but Hood actually, whenever he first takes over this corps, when he comes out west, after he had spent a lot of time in Richmond kissing up to Jefferson Davis, once he gets down here, he doesn't like the men he's taken over because some of these are the men from Vicksburg who had surrendered out there. So Hood, over time, will start to get to know these men and see some of their fighting qualities at least. And he will throw them forward, 2 brigade front with 2 in the rear, a lot like you'll see at Gettysburg on July 2nd whenever they start attacking in echelon. You'll see the same similar attacks there. So we have a lot of that's happening here now. Kyle, from where we're standing, I don't see a mountain. So where's our mountain?
So we are, give or take, 6-7 miles south of that mountain at Kennesaw Mountain. We are, if you take this Powder Springs Road straight, what direction? North. You're going to run straight into the city of Marietta. So this is the last little right-hand move to try and divert that mountain that is ever so important to keeping the Confederate line anchored here at this position.
And so what we're going to end up doing is jumping in the car. We're going to head up to that mountain. And I just want to point out the fact that Gary and I were talking off camera, probably distracting everyone as we're wont to do. But just across the street from where we're standing, members of the American Battlefield Trust help to preserve land here. So you might see here where Gary's pointing, 14th Kentucky. And you'll see that little speck of blue there. That's some of the land we helped preserve down here at Kennesaw Mountain. So keep in mind what's happening here. We've had Joe Johnston's army falling back. It's what he's best at doing. And he's finally made it down here to this new Kennesaw line. This is the last substantial line before we get to the Chattahoochee. And then, of course, to the defenses of Atlanta. So this is really, in a way, the Confederate Alamo here during the Atlanta campaign. So it looks like Gary has something he'd like to add on over here.
I do, because this is my first time really getting out of the car at Kolb's farm or Cobb's farm, depending on how you want to pronounce it here. And, you know, in really looking at the maps, I think, first of all, you know, this looks like a tiny sliver, but man, we have a big sea of green above it with an island of white there. And if we were to look at the full map up toward Big Kennesaw, Little Kennesaw, Medium Kennesaw, Regular Kennesaw along the way, you would see a whole lot of green there. This is a massive amount of green space outside of Atlanta, probably the largest.
Yes.
The largest green space outside of Atlanta right here. So we've got a lot of people coming here to exercise, and you know what? Maybe a few of them get interested in history, and maybe this is a tough place to build a park. It's already encroached pretty well, but little victories like that might allow us to see a little bit more of this battlefield. I think you'll agree. There's a lot more to see here.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to jump in the car, we're going to head up the Kennesaw line, and we're going to check out some of the sites here. Big Kennesaw, Little Kennesaw, Cheatham Hill, and then Pigeon Hill as well. So we don't know where we're going to end up, because we just kind of fly by the seat of our pants sometimes, but we have a lot to still see here at Kennesaw before we cross the Chattahoochee River and head into Atlanta ourselves. So on behalf of the American Battlefield Trust, Kyle, thank you so much for being on with us with your debut. Gary Edelman, Kris Mikowski behind the camera. I'm Chris White with the American Battlefield Trust. Please share this with your friends, with your family, and check out battlefields.org, our website, to learn more about what we do at the American Battlefield Trust. It's not just make videos and have fun with history. We do a lot of serious work as well. So on behalf of the Trust, I'm Chris White. Thank you for watching, and thank you for supporting battlefield preservation.